can respond with the same answer. Los Angeles, East LA. Or say I'm Mexican. That's where you're asking. Or both. I'm a Mexican from Los Angeles. But every time the question, where are you really from, comes up at Bennington, it promotes a string of thoughts within me, and it fills me with confusion, fear, and anxiety. Confusion because where I'm really from implies that I'm not part of this country. Fear and anxiety because I become afraid. I become afraid that you might get a glimpse of my reality. To protect myself, I quickly try to change the conversation to avoid any further questions regarding my background. However, sometimes I'm not lucky enough, and I'm bombarded with questions because my answers do not really make sense without knowing the complete story. Okay, Carlos, so you were born in Mexico, but you grew up in Los Angeles. You hold dual citizenship. You go to Mexico often? You haven't gone in 14 years? And frankly, sometimes I just get tired of lying, and I let you into my world. I'm an undocumented immigrant. I'm a dreamer. I came to the States as a little kid with my mom and two younger brothers, Alex and Danny, following my dad into the land of opportunities. All I really understood at that moment was that I was going somewhere, to see my dad, who I hadn't seen for more than 2 years. I call myself a dreamer, but in reality my parents are the original dreamers. Their hard work and sacrifices deserve all the credit. So why do I call myself a dreamer? What does it mean to be undocumented? Well, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would not have been able to tell you. Simply because I never felt undocumented, or like an immigrant for that matter. I'm East Los Angeles raised. It's embedded in my accent. I speak Spanglish. I'm a Californian by heart. Practically raised at the beach, shorts and chanclas all year long, avocados, mangoes, and tacos. I miss home. Growing with kids with similar experiences, there wasn't really a conversation about being undocumented. It was a simple accepted reality, and it was easy to pretend that everything was okay. But we all knew where our parents got the fake micas or any other documents required to work. We all had to translate for our parents at one point so they could navigate any system in English, and we all had our favorite jokes about La Migra. But reality was that Los Angeles was home, and this reality could be destroyed by the thought of deportation. As I grew older, I came to understand what it meant to be undocumented. I wanted to do the things that all of my friends were doing. I wanted to get a part-time job. I wanted to get a license to drive a car. I wanted to travel. I wanted a higher education. Being undocumented meant calling universities around the nation, letting them know I'm interested in the dance program, their science programs, and getting answers such as, we don't deal with your kind. It meant getting accepted to my dream school, UC Berkeley, but not being eligible for any type of financial aid or having the resources to afford it. It meant working 2 or 3 times harder than the average student because only 5% of the 65,000 dreamers that graduate each year across the nation go on to college due to financial challenges and legal obstacles. Life becomes suddenly full of limitations. My story is one of 11 million. There are approximately 11 million undocumented Americans in this country. What it means to be undocumented is living in fear of deportation. Not trusting those even closest to you. Difficult access to healthcare, difficult access to education, jobs, internships, any type of personal and professional development. It means persecutions and separations of families, kids without parents, parents without kids, not seeing my abuelitos for more than 14 years. President Obama administration have deported more than 2 million people since he took office, more than any other president in the past. Leaving 5,000 kids in foster care and forcing about 1,000 people out of this country each day. Separating thousands of families by borders and political systems. What it really means to be undocumented is that we're often treated as abstractions, faceless, nameless, subjects of debates, rather than individuals with family, kids, hopes, and fears. It means that we're constantly being labeled in this country by words such as illegal, alien, criminal, which in no way, shape, or form illuminate the truth about the complexity of living in this country. Actions are illegal, never people. You don't call a driver without a license an illegal driver. You don't call a father who hasn't paid child support an illegal father. It doesn't make sense. Actions are illegal, never people. Our physical presence in this country, the fact that I'm here is not illegal. The action was illegal, the crossing, and that action is a civil offense, not a criminal one. So the term criminal is incorrect as well. I hate the idea that my little brother Alex is back at home listening to the leaders of our country talk about him. Labeling his essence, labeling his spirit illegal, and him returning license such word. Calling people illegal is dehumanizing, hateful, and offensive in every sense of the word. Actions are illegal, never people. There's something extremely wrong when society calls people illegal, when our current system criminalizes people for civil offenses, and when our country makes profit for separating families. Immigration conversation starts with those illegal Mexicans taking jobs. What jobs? With Mexicans. I'm angry when the immigration conversation starts with put up an electric fence across the Mexican border. Conversations that are still at the surface of the issue with the purpose to spread hate, intolerance, and injustice. Put up the electric fence. Fill up the Rio Grande with alligators. Call in the military. But approximately half of all of us have actually came here legally. We just overstayed their visa. And contrary to popular belief, we're not all Mexicans. 1 million of the 11 million documented immigrants are actually from Asia, Pacific Islanders. About 800,000 are actually from South America, Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, and 300,000 are from Europe. German, Spanish, Croatian, Polish people, just to name a few. And more than half of us have actually been here for more than 10 years. We didn't just hop the border yesterday. We're an integral part of this country. We contribute to this country. We pay taxes. We are your neighbors. We are your classmates. And we will continue to speak up and express our indignation with the current immigration system. To briefly demonstrate our presence, I'll talk about a few undocumented Americans. Sergio Garcia, who has fought tirelessly against laws in California to become the first undocumented attorney to practice law. Dulce Matus, who was named one of the most influential people by Times for her activist work in Arizona. Jose Antonio Vargas, who has worked for every top media outlet and has won the Pulitzer Prize. Eric Andiola, who's admired for challenging congressmen in every sense of the word. Jose Gutierrez, one of the first U.S. servicemen to die in combat during the Iraq War. Gaby Pacheco, who holds 3 degrees from Miami-Dade College and initiated a movement to walk across the country to tell our stories. And our stories have even won awards. The Oscar for a short documentary about the undocumented immigrant artist from San Diego, Inocente Izuka. And the Grammy to an LA band, La Santa Cecilia. And some of us have even been published in Science Academia. Was inspired by all of them, but most importantly, dreamers. People like me who were brought to this country as little kids, who have been actively protesting all over the country, chanting undocumented and unafraid, revealing and risking themselves in front of immigration offices and politicians, opposing deportation and laws such as SB 1070 in Arizona and HB 56 in Alabama, marching to the sea, telling their brave stories, organizing and participating in our democracy, and claiming the place in this country, the only place we know is home. The work has led to President Obama expanding deferred action to dreamers, which grants a temporary legal status and protection against deportation and work authorization. However, this fight has only begun, as this benefit can be removed by upon the change of administration, and it does not take into account our original dreamers. Our parents, our abuelitos, our tios, tias, and farm workers working around Bennington cannot apply for deferred action. Your country, my country, our country is changing. Diversity is destiny. Porque hablo español, porque bailo salsa y cumbia, porque me miro diferente. No debería afectar mi identificación con este país. That all the speakers tonight have diverse backgrounds should not jeopardize our identification with this country or with Bennington. We speak tonight because along all the other things that we are Bennington. This is my first time ever speaking about this publicly. Consider it as my official coming out. A process that should resonate a lot at Bennington. But as Jose Antonio Vargas says, we're not actually coming out. We're just letting you in. Well, so where am I really from, huh? The question is, what are you gonna do about it? What is Bennington gonna do about it? This isn't a Mexican issue, Latino issue, Asian issue, black or white. This is an American issue. Thank you.
You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Man, Carlos, you have those rapper hand gestures down, dude. You're like... Where are you really from, Sue? I'm from India. Oh, but you sound white. You have a perfect American accent. Oh, well, that's probably because I grew up in international schools and, you know... Oh, no, tell me where you're really from in India. And do you want me to talk like this? Because I will talk like this if I must. You know, I had an incident which happened to me, and there was this, I was going in Bennington taxi, and this cab driver goes, "What's your religion?" And I go, "Hindu." And then he goes, "Is that the one where they pray on the rugs?" And I go, "No, I believe that's Islam." Then he cuts me off and he says, "Then who's Buddha?" Like a religion lesson?